Okay, so I have had one meal already, and I am wearing a t-shirt and pants. We're gonna say that whatever weight is here is probably gonna be up 1 or 2 pounds from my morning weight. Tomorrow we'll get a proper morning weight, but today I just wanna show you guys where we're at. Okay, this is the official weigh-in. All right, so you guys can see it has 275.8, which is a little lighter than I want to be. I've been kind of cleaning things up for about a week now, so I've dropped a few pounds. I was around 280. I decided to bring you guys along for the ride to show you guys kind of how this is all playing out. So 278 now, or 275.8 now. We got the whiteboard here, it's all clear. We're gonna make a pre-workout meal. We're gonna go train, and when we get back, set up this whiteboard, and I'm gonna show you guys how to make your own diets with my diet. Now, you might not love it. My diet is very simple. It consists of like 6 foods, but I'll show you some substitutions you can make. But for me, the less food I have to cook, the better, and it's easier. And I'm just gonna show you guys the real way, the real things that I do. And then you guys can add substitutions if you want, but my shit is pretty boring, it's pretty bland, and you're gonna see that when we hit the whiteboard later. We want to get some vegetables set up. So I got a pot here. We're just going to put a little bit of water in it. You don't want to put a lot of water. You just want to get enough to create a steam, right? We're just going to steam some vegetables. So that's really enough water right there. While the chicken is cooking and the green beans are steaming, we're gonna throw some potatoes in the microwave. I can never go through a diet. I know this is gonna sound really weak, but one of the ways I get by having a crazy sweet tooth is using some sugar-free Tang. So by now, our chicken should be done. It really doesn't take long when you do it this way. Just gotta make sure you cover it and it'll cook all the way through. So since we started dieting, I actually increased my protein count a little bit because I've cleaned up the diet like crazy, and I wanna make sure I'm getting enough protein to make sure I'm recovering. So I actually have bumped up my meals to 7 or 8 ounces of meat. They were at 6. This is pretty much a normal thing when I start dieting for prep. My protein counts start to go up. I might go all the way up to 10 ounces. We'll see how things go and how I look week to week, but right now we're at 7 or 8. Needs more time. All right, so a common question I get is, what do I eat pre-workout? You know, there's no magic food to eat pre-workout. What I say is your pre-workout meal should be relatively small compared to your other meals, or the same, but the most important thing is that it's very easily digestible. You don't want to go to the gym bloated. You don't want to go to the gym and have your body trying to digest a bunch of fat or a ton of food or some really doughy bread or something like that. You want to eat food that your body's going to be able to digest quickly. Now, everybody's going to be different. For me personally, I digest low-fat foods very, very quickly. So chicken, most people are like that, to be honest with you. So the chicken is very low in fat, chicken breast, so that'll digest quickly. And then the white potato is very, very low in fiber, so it's also gonna digest quickly. And then I have the green beans. The green beans are really just for flavor. I'm not gonna put that many in, maybe a cup or less, but they're not gonna slow me down at all either. So the point, all you should know is this: for your pre-workout meal, the most important thing is you wanna have it as easily digestible as possible, okay? It doesn't have to be a massive meal. Some people think their biggest meal of the day has to be pre-workout meal. That's not how it works. Smallest meal of the day for me is my pre-workout meal in the off season. When I'm dieting, they're all pretty close to the same size. My easiest digestibility meal is gonna be my pre-workout meal. All right guys, just finished my pre-workout meal. I wanna get my intra workout and my pre-workout ready for the gym. So I got them here. I already throw a scoop in each. I'm gonna fill them up and throw them in the freezer, make sure they're cold so they taste good as I'm drinking them. Now, I just wanted to go over supplement timing really quickly because I'm getting some more questions recently about when to take your supplements. Your intra workout, just take during your workout. For me, I start drinking it once I start my very first set. Once I'm kind of warming up and I'm getting ready, that's kind of when I start sipping on it. And I'll sip on this all the way through until the end of my workout. And the purpose behind your intra workout, give your muscle a little bit of a full feeling, help your muscle stay fed while you're training, and also increase your endurance kind of throughout that workout and increase your pump. So we don't want to fade near the end of our workout. This is why, okay? This will keep you going strong from set 1 to set 40 or however many sets you do. Your pre-workout, everybody knows is drinking before you train, right? But the other thing is you want to make sure your food is digested. So try and eat your pre-workout meal about an hour and a half to an hour and 15 minutes before you train, right? So if I'm training at 2:30 today, for example, I will eat at 1:15. I'll drink this at 2:15 and I'll be ready to train at 2:30. So usually 15 minutes before is perfect for your pre-workout. Gets in your system, kind of everything starts flowing. By the time you get in, start warming up, you can kind of start to feel it, and then this will take over instead of slowing you down in any way. It's pretty simple, guys. Those are the two. And if you're using any of our other products, like if you're using our pump product, it's going to be the same as your pre-workout. You're going to take it about 15 minutes before you train and about an hour after the pre-workout meal. And your essential aminos basically can be taken all day, anytime. It's your choice. That's it for now. Throw these in the freezer, get our ass to the gym. So one of the daily rituals is to send out mail. We got about 7 or 8 orders here that have to go out. So I pack all the hostile orders, me and my wife, and sometimes I have a nephew come in and help if the orders get too crazy. When you guys get your stuff, tag me in your hostile posts so I can repost. Now the other thing is, I got this order here. And I'm not sure what it is.
We're gonna open it together.
What could this be? Oh, look at this. All of you guys out there, message me. I get so many messages every day about cream of rice and where I get my cream of rice. This is where I get my cream of rice, Amazon. I ordered this 12 pack a few days ago, and now it's here. Cream of rice is actually like my favorite carb and is my go-to for almost every single meal. So I'm gonna be ordering a lot of these. It gets expensive, but when you're dieting and you're only eating a few different foods, you should enjoy the ones you're eating at least. So, all right, we are at Good Life. And we're about to get in. We're training back today? Yeah, we're gonna hit some back. We're starting with some standing pull downs. A lot of people do these at the end of their workout. Some people do them at the beginning. I like doing them at the beginning just because it loosens up the shoulder joint, loosens up the lat, gets kind of the blood flowing, loosens up this whole area before getting into other lat work. All right, we went from standing pull downs. We're coming over to seated pull down with the V-grip or close grip, however you want to call it. And the reason we're doing that is because we're gonna dig into our ribs with our elbows as much as possible. We're gonna try and get that lat sweep from the center all the way around the bottom, out the side. That's what we're working here. We're gonna try and build up that lower lat insertion as much as possible. All right, we finished up with the close grip, pull down, move over to the meat and potatoes of the workout. Back training is not back training without your rows, okay? So we got some barbell rows, T-bar rows are good, dumbbell rows are good, cable rows. Your rowing movements are gonna separate your back from other people, okay? So we got some barbell rows set up with 3 plates. Not my strongest, still working back from my tricep tear, but every week we get a little bit stronger, working back to our 4 plate days. Finish up barbell rows, we're on a T-bar rows. We're gonna do supported T-bar row. Lower back's a little toast from barbell rows, so do supported T-bar row so we can still get the activation in our back without having to worry about toasting our lower back even further. Working on finishing off the back, this is kind of just to finish off whatever's left over from my back that's not torn up and pump a little bit more blood before we leave, finishing with like a full stretch. Back workout in the books. It's a good one today. Got a good pump everywhere, top to bottom, front to back. That's all it's about. Every day we make a little bit of gains. And at the end of the year, we end up seeing in the mirror what we had in our mind. And that's the whole goal. But for now, I'm gonna get my post-workout meal in. After I get my post-workout meal in, we're gonna head over to the whiteboard and I'm gonna show you guys what my current diet looks like and what my setup is gonna be for trying to get my body back on a pro stage. But for now, I'm gonna get this down. This is 7 ounces of chicken, some green beans, 90 grams of cream of rice, which is my favorite. I put a little bit of sweetener and cinnamon in there. My Tang, of course. And who can have chicken without some Masterpiece barbecue? I mean, it's Ronnie Coleman's barbecue sauce. So really, if I eat Ronnie Coleman's barbecue sauce, I'm gonna be like Ronnie Coleman. All right, guys, we're at the whiteboard and I wanna talk to you guys about the transformation diet and how to set it up. Earlier today, we weighed ourselves. That's the starting point. You gotta get it on a scale, find out how much you weigh. I can guesstimate my body fat percentage is somewhere between 10 and 12%. For me, being around 12% body fat or less, these numbers are gonna be calculated by that. So we're gonna start by taking our weight and figuring out what our calories are for our lean bulk, what we use for a lean bulk. And if you take your protein and multiply it by 1.5 grams, which is what I found to be the best amount to gain muscle and help keep your strength and all of that and recover in the off season, it gives us 413 grams of protein. If you do that for your carbs, it's about 2 grams per pound. I feel like at 3 grams, I get a little bit fat. 1 gram is just not enough, so 2 grams I found is good for my body. So if you take the 2 grams per pound number of carbs, you get 550 grams. Okay, and for fats, 0.35 grams per pound seems to work. Now, some people work better with more fats. One of my best off seasons ever was with a lot of fats, so you might want to experiment and see if you feel better. But just remember that a lot of fat in your diet will also satiate you, so it's gonna hurt your appetite if you have to eat a lot of food. So at 0.35 grams per pound, it's at 96 grams per day. Now the total calories is 4716. So that's what we're working with on a lean bulk, 4,716 calories. So now to do a transformation diet, we're gonna have to cut those numbers down a bit. So I put together my diet. My diet is extremely simple. It's actually almost the same meal every time, but I made a few changes in here just so you guys can see what it might look like if you want to sub in some rice or some rice cakes or something like that, okay? So what we're gonna do is just go by meal. The first meal, 1.5 cups of egg whites. Here are your totals, 188 calories, 39 grams of protein, 3 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fat. Now I'm not gonna go through every single number. You guys can kind of check them out. I'll just screenshot this and you guys can go through the numbers yourselves, but we have 2 whole eggs, 90 grams of cream of rice. It is probably my favorite carb, and if it was up to me on a daily basis, I'll probably eat this for every single meal almost. Now, if you don't like it, you can sub in a different carb, but I don't think it matters if you eat the same carb every time, so that's just your choice, okay? But the calories for that meal, the totals for that meal are 676 calories, 58 grams of protein, 78 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of fat. So our second meal, 7 ounces of chicken breast, 90 grams of cream of rice again, and 100 grams of green beans. Our totals are 691 calories, 70 grams of protein, 81 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of fat. Now, the third meal, same thing, we're gonna do a 7 ounce chicken breast again. We're gonna switch it here, we're gonna do 1 cup of sushi rice. In case you don't like cream of rice, you can do sushi rice. 1 cup of sushi rice, 100 grams of green beans. Now, 1 cup of sushi rice is pretty close to 90 grams of cream of rice. Meal number 4, we're gonna repeat meal number 2. Chicken, cream of rice, green beans. In between meals 3 and 4, we're gonna go train. We take the Hostile intra workout and it has 25 grams of carbs in it. So we're gonna add those carbs into our daily totals. We'll add that in after meal 3. Meal 3 is gonna be our pre-workout meal. And meal 4 is gonna be our post-workout meal. Meal 5, get into a little bit bigger meal. I didn't put this directly after my post-workout because the steak has a lot of fat in it. And I also don't always feel like eating a huge meal right after my workout. This meal will be a little bit easier to eat. And then I can get into meal number 5, which is 7 ounces of flank, 10 rice cakes, and 100 grams of asparagus. Now, why did I put that there? 1, after my workout, I don't want to eat so much, so I put it the meal after that. 2, for me, that's about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So I kind of want to snack. So I have the rice cakes there, and I can kind of snack on the rice cakes while I'm watching a movie or something like that. It feels like I'm kind of giving myself a little bit of a break. So it's better than just putting in some rice or something like that. So I kind of set that up for myself. It might work for you too, you can try it out. Meal number 6, back to 1.5 cups of egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and 100 grams of avocado. Now, I feel like I do need a little bit of fat for my body. So I have the fat from the flank steak, we have some fat from our eggs, and eggs again, added some avocado here at the end to help boost my fat numbers a little bit. So the total here is 503 calories, 54 grams of protein, 13 grams of carbs and 27 grams of fat. I also don't feel like I need a ton of carbs before bed. When I eat this way, I wake up feeling leaner and my stomach feels smaller when I wake up. If I have another 90 grams of cream of rice here, which I would in the off season, or if I was bulking, that's fine. But if I'm trying to diet down, I just don't feel like I need it. So let's go over the numbers. So these were our numbers for the lean bulk, totaling 4,716 calories. These are the numbers for our transformation diet. So what do we have here? Protein total for these six meals, 385 grams of protein. Carbs, 417 grams of carbs. Fats, 80 grams of fat. Now you notice all of these numbers are a little lower than here, but it's because we're trying to burn a little fat. So the total calories for this transformation diet, 4,040 calories, which leaves us in a deficit of 676 calories. So every single day, if I need this to grow, 4716, I have now cut 676 calories from that total. I've been eating 4,700. So my body is adapted to eating 4,700 calories for the last 6 months. That's got to be a duration of time. So for 6 months, this is what my body's used to eating. And then all of a sudden I go down to 4,000. My body's gonna go, whoa, 700 calorie difference every single day. I'm burning that every single day now, okay? Plus maybe I've added in some cardio. That's another 200 or 300 calories that I'm burning. So you might be in like a 600, 700, 900, 1,000 calorie deficit every day when you add all of these things in considered. This is the starting point for a diet. This is what we do. Now, as we go, what we're gonna do as we go is start to manipulate these numbers. Okay, so the protein, my protein will probably never change. This carb count will probably come down. Once I see my body stop changing, I may drop 50 grams out of here. I may take 10 grams out of every single meal, right? So I'll drop to 60 grams of carbs. I'll do that for a week, see how it goes. After my body stops losing, I may drop another 10 grams out of each meal. So I'll come down another 60 grams of carbs. And by doing that, your body is constantly having to adapt. Now, when this gets too low, when your carbs get too low, you're gonna have to add in refeed meals and cheat meals and things like that to keep your glycogen stores up. It's not a matter of just dropping these carbs all the way to nothing because you'll just keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Your body needs to be refed every once in a while, but that's a little more complicated. We'll get into it later on as I vlog through this diet. But for now, this is what you guys need to know. This is your starting point. This is your deficit. These are your meals. And you can do this. It doesn't have to be complicated. As you guys can see, one of the main things people struggle with is having a variety. Bodybuilders don't give a shit. Real bodybuilders, real hard motherfuckers that want to make a change in their physique and they don't care about taste and how everything feels and all that. None of that shit matters, okay? When you eliminate your emotions and you eliminate your feelings, this is what's left, the numbers, okay? So my body doesn't give a shit if I'm eating chicken 6 times a day or cream of rice 6 times a day. Vegetables are free calories for me. So tomorrow I might say, you know what? I don't want any green beans. I'm gonna have spinach instead. Spinach packed with micronutrients. Those things can all change, and it's very fluid as we go. Let's start to play with these numbers and see what we can do to keep our body guessing. For me, it's very simple. I'm not concerned with everything being perfect. I'm concerned with changing my body. For me, it's a numbers game and a performance game. Doesn't matter how I feel, how happy I am, how excited I am to eat my meals, how delicious they are. The only things that matter are what's the scale say, what does the mirror look like, and how is my performance in the gym. If all of them are trending in the right direction, this is the diet I'm sticking with. As soon as they start to take a turn for the worse, then I look and I say, okay, where can I add something in? For now, what I want you to do is get on a diet like this, see how you feel after doing a very